What's up, y'all? Another episode of Mike from the basement, but today is a different day. This is Mike from outside. Yeah, the weather is nice, so I'm gonna sit outside and do this podcast. So this podcast is another example of me being in the right place at the right time. Now, if the camera's focus is off, because I'm working with a new camera, so I'm just trying to figure it out. So bear with me. So let's start off with the day. Today at work. So I already told y'all about my new position. Let me see, can I fix this camera? So I already told y'all about my new position, extra position, supervisor. So as always, I am constantly going back and forth and checking on the staff. So today just happened to be one of those crazy days, and I know y'all not going to believe what I'm about to tell y'all, but it's the truth. So as I'm making my rounds and checking on the staff, I'm walking past the front of the hospital because it's a long hallway. They take me from one end to the other. So I'm walking past the main hallway. Lo and behold, I look to my left, and I can see, actually, this is the truth, I can see actually a pit bull walking back and forth inside the vestibule of the hospital. Now, the problem with that is the hospital doors open on motion sensor detection. So if you're walking past the hospital and you just happen to walk past the doors was opened up. So guess what happened? Yeah, you already know. The doors opened and the dog walked in. Pit bull, brown pit bull. Now, me myself, I wasn't that scared because I had about 3 or 4 pit bulls in my former life, so I wasn't that scared. But everybody in the hospital was running around and scared and making noise. So I was yelling to everybody, "Don't run, don't run." The last thing you want to do with a pit bull or any type of dog that you might find dangerous, don't run. So what I did was I tried to get the dog to come to me. So the dog came to me. Once I found out the dog was a friendly dog, and he was wagging his tail, and I found out he was a friendly dog. So after he did that, the only thing I could do is try to, because I couldn't touch the dog, because I don't know, the dog didn't have no collar, the dog didn't have no leash or anything. So what I did was, the dog started running around the whole bottom part of the hospital. The dog ran in the kitchen. The dog ran into the halls where they had meetings at. The dog ran everywhere but where it was supposed to go. Now, mind you, these people are freaking out and running from this dog. I could say the dog is probably about 1 to 2 years old, but the dog is a house dog. So you can tell somebody kept the dog in the yard or something. You know, dogs get loose. I had pit bulls to get loose too. So anyway, after chasing this dog down, like I said, I didn't grab him, but I kept calling like, and eventually the dog started following me, which was good. So I took the dog and walked him, and he was falling behind me. So the last minute, I opened the bathroom door. So it's a bathroom on the main floor, and I opened the male bathroom door, and I got the dog to go in there, and which was good. So the dog can be cornered in the bathroom. So as always, security was notified, safety was notified, but it's just one of those things to show that I'm always in the right place where God needs me to be. Everybody was freaking out. I mean, people were screaming. Luckily, I done had 2-3 pit bulls in my time, so I know if you get an aggressive pit bull, he's going to show you a stance where he's going to bite you. If you get a house pit bull, he's normally 9 out of 10 times will wag his ears or wag his tail to show his friendliness. He's going to sniff you now to try to recognize you. Now, it's a chance with any dog. So I'm not even going to say pit bull. It's a chance with any dog that the dog might not show aggressiveness right then and there. So he might just be sniffing you to see who you was. But for some reason, the dog didn't bite me. So once I got the dog into the bathroom to close the dog off, safety was notified, security was notified. So I had to get back to work. So I got back to work, but the safety officer did come tell me that the dog was just picked up by animal control. I hope they ain't put the dog to sleep. I hope the owner calls someone and try to find the dog. I remember when I was real young, one of my pit bulls got loose. So I called 911 when I realized that the pit bull was loose. And unfortunately, nobody realized the pit bull was loose. But about 2 weeks later, my homeboy was driving, and so he seen the pit. And so when I went up there to get my pit back from where it was, I could tell that the young guys that had my dog was fighting up because She just looked real rough. But I didn't fight her. You know, it was a house dog, a house pit. All my pits was house pits. Now they would protect me. Now if you come near me, they would tear. You know what I mean? Your tail up. But as far as fighting them, no, that's not what I had the pits for. So, and this pit didn't look any type of way like she was. He was. It was a male. He was fighting or anything. I didn't see a. He wasn't a red nose. He was like I said, probably a regular pit. Excellent coat. He had a brown coat. Looked real healthy. Like it's just regular old backyard puppy, you know. Still was in a playful mood, but obviously he was still looking for his owner because he didn't recognize everybody. Like I said, he probably got out from the yard or something. Now, as far as animal control, I don't know what they did with the dog, but hopefully the dog was probably taken to where it's supposed to have been, and someone called looking for the dog, and you know, just called 911, and 911 said, yeah, we did have a report. And animal control has your dog, and hopefully someone goes and gets the dog. I hate to see that the dog was just be put down in the kennel for nobody coming to get him, you know. Just another story of me being in the right place at the right time. Another story. Now, I know that's hard to believe, but that's what happened, and that's what it was. So I'm just going to sit down and enjoy the rest of the day. It's a beautiful day. Tomorrow, I think it's supposed to rain. But as far as everything else, just a beautiful day. I'm just going to enjoy my day. Hopefully, the camera works right, because I'm looking in the camera, but as my eyes turn slanted, but I'm talking to you straight forward from the camera. So, Mike from the basement. Another episode of Mike on the Mic.